Hello and welcome. We are gonna see ourselves the third game of day 16 of the 5 games that are in total here in day 16 of StarLadder Season 8 Star Series, of course. And I am not by myself for this match. I'm joined by 2 people. We have still got Nahaz, our stats man here. He'll be provide you with all the in-game stats that you want to know. I wanted to find a different word for stats. Couldn't find it. We do have someone that you will also hear next to me. It is G-Advance. Welcome to the broadcast. And I see your microphone moving, but I can only hear myself and I cannot hear you. So, please let me know your microphone works properly. I should be able to hear you then again. So, hopefully he'll be back with us just shortly. And we have a very fast draft on our hand. Look at this. Neither team has used any of their bonus time. We've got ourselves Bristleback, Alchemist, Timbersaw, and Enchantress banned out, leaving, of course, an Elder Titan in the pool, which got picked up by RoX.KIS. We're going to have ourselves a typical OD Razor matchup, which is not really fun to watch, but it is very effective for both teams. Neither should be able to win from the other. And that's kind of the idea. If you pick up a Razor against an OD, normally OD wins his lane. This time he should be able to play even. Visage already picked up by Navi. First support pickup. We still have an Enchantress, or I mean, a Crystal Main in the pool as well as a, sorry for that, as well as a Venomancer actually, which is a support that we saw Navi banning out in the first banning phase in the previous game. We'll see though what they want to go for. And G-Advance, are you with me?
G-Advance disband.
No, it worked. Yes.
Yep,
Good.
it's working.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. I've been late today. Microphone not properly plugged in. I'm a great guy.
Yeah, well,
I know
it
my
happens.
stuff.
It's Murphy's Law. And you had a good excuse for being late too, so, you know.
Exactly, right? And I could, like, add to it and just, like... Because it's kids, right? So you can, like, add to it. You'd be like, oh, and they were orphan kids with no legs. And, like, slowly people feel better about you being late.
Yes, and you can also add puppies and kittens to the mix and you'll be golden. You'll be getting a medal almost.
And get a medal for turning up late. That'd be pretty
a
awesome.
medal for taking care of those kids and for pulling those puppies out of the fire. Jeez.
Yes, exactly. I did that too.
Yep. Puppies and kittens were in the fire and the orphan kids were wanting your help to take them out. And you did it and then you were the hero of the day. Well, anyways, we have got ourselves a very fast draft on our hands. Both teams now using a slightly bit of bonus time, but overall, I have to say the main thing right now that I'm actually kind of surprised about is that the Pugna is still in the pool, and the Enchantress, or sorry, I mean Crystal Maiden as well. I mean, Enchantress and Chen both got taken out, and actually, Enchantress, Enigma, and Chen, 3 of Puppy's signature heroes, removed. Oh, Slark. Did you see our previous game? I think you did, right? Or at least a bit of it.
I saw a bit of it, yeah. I got in just for like... I just missed like the first few minutes, basically. But yeah, Slark has been picked up tons since he's been added to CM for good reason. This hero is exceedingly scary because most of the time there aren't actually that many big AoE stuns that you can drop off on him when he's in his ultimate, and otherwise nothing will affect him. Nothing's going to stop him. He can dive your towers. He doesn't care. This hero is amazingly scary to deal with.
Yeah. And we've seen him on the farming role actually, so I'm kind of expecting Navi to run the same kind of roles that they had in the previous game, meaning that Lacoste will be on the offlane. Nature's Prophet, by the way, is still in the pool if they want to use that one, and then that would put Funnick on the Slark. We're gonna see RoX picking up the Dazzle for the 2nd time today, so Goblak seemingly rediscovering Dazzle. He's a fun hero though, and with minus armor put on the enemy targets, that's gonna be I mean, that's going to be scary. If you already have an Elder Titan that's going to remove all your armor anyway with that natural order, well, RoX is going to hurt.
Yeah, Dazzle's a really, really strong support hero. Not only can he put all that minus armor on, but his basic skills, as far as concept is concerned, are absolutely fantastic. Particularly Shallow Grave is probably one of the most powerful skills in this sort of style of game, where teams are very, very organized, because most of the time teams are going to be focusing one target, and if you can effectively negate all of the damage that Navi can do in an initiation, then that's what makes Dazzle incredibly powerful. And I think this is a really, really smart pickup with a Razor, because it allows him to go that little bit deeper, which is something that generally Razor can struggle with until he's got a few tank items.
Can you check if you have, like with your microphone different plugin, can you check if your Dota TV has actually got the right microphone selected? Because it seems like we have some echo in Dota TV. And it might just not have picked up your microphone. Like, if you said that you just plugged it in, if we were already in the game, then maybe Dota TV has a different one selected. As more minus armor. This is minus armor gaming coming off from RoX, picking up the StarLadder. Now, before we go to the last event, just quickly go over the scores of these two teams, because we just saw Na'Vi. They weren't able to win their game up against their opponent, which apparently I'm not spoiling, because, you know, I just said opponent rather than the team name. You should watch the games in order if you feel spoiled by this. Anyways, we've got ourselves Na'Vi only playing 5 games total so far though, but they have won 3, lost 2, sitting on 9 points. On the other side we've got RoX. RoX has already played 7 games in total, also lost 2 games but won 5. So far doing pretty well for themselves, and if they can keep this up they will definitely have a shot of going to the playoffs at the 17th till 19th of January in Kiev, as Tiny is going to be the combination that Na'Vi is going to make with the IO, banning out the Shadow Demon there. I like the IO Tiny combination. I also like the IO with the Slark, by the way, with that overcharge there. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, this is a really, really smart pickup for them. One of the things with picking up Wisp late in the draft means that you can't go, oh, we need to ban Wisp combination heroes, and it looks to me like RoX.KIS believed that the Wisp was going to be comboing up with the Slark, but I mean, obviously the standard combination is sticking with the Tiny, because that combination, it was the first one really we saw with Wisp coming into professional play, and it's very strong indeed.
Yeah, how are you expecting them to lane this? Because normally when there's an IO in the pool, we don't really see the aggressive tri-lanes with an IO. Actually, because VIII is also not really the hero that you would choose to go for dual lanes. Like, maybe dual lanes would be okay, but Slark offlane in this case, it might be an option. I'm not really a fan of a Slark offlane, though. I do feel like he needs a bit more farm to be able to be successful.
Yeah, generally the hero is, he's not super XP dependent, but he's definitely quite item dependent. I think they're going to run him offlane anyway, because like you say, VIII can't really, he doesn't really work too great in dual lanes. I think they'll go defensive tri-lane purely because Wisp and Tiny, both 0 armor heroes. You don't want to go aggressive with them, and you certainly don't want to leave them in a dual lane, especially if RoX.KIS want to go for their own dual lanes, because they get like hit by anybody and it really hurts.
Yeah, and with the Lich picked up last, I mean, they've got the potential to keep the lanes in check, and if they get their levels up, I mean, their minus armor is going to be really scary. As you mentioned, some of these heroes on the side of Na'Vi just don't have any real armor to rely on, and if you then have, and the minus armor from the StarLadder, and the minus armor from the Dazzle, and the minus armor from the other Titan, or just reduced armor from the other Titan, reduced to 0, well, things are going to get hairy real fast. If Razor can get a range to hit you, because that kind of needs to happen. Razor or Slark, that's the physical damage that you should look out for. Of course, Elder Titan also with his Astral Spirit, depending on where he is in the game. But yeah, it's a kind of scary lineup, I think, coming off here from RoX. But I think Na'Vi is going to be fairly happy with their draft, having that IO, having the IO Tiny combination. Funnick's still playing the Slark, by the way.
Yeah, that's a kind of interesting decision there, to see how Na'Vi are going to actually lane this and where are they going to put everybody, because honestly, it feels like they have to run the Slark in the offlane position, but like you said, he's really not ideal for it. He's got good escapes, yeah, but actually the way he uses his escapes is, you know, after he dives in for kills, and he really can't afford to do that if he's low, but looks like we're going to have a level 1 engagement.
Yeah, they're looking for it. They're looking for Puppy. He's going to be able to hide near his tower. Yeah, looks like it's going to be okay. Neither team really has a big advantage when going for a level 1 matchup. Level 1 fight. Looks like Funnick and Krogi a bit of a misunderstanding on where to go, but let's take a look at who is playing what, and we might be seeing also some more about who is going to be on which lane. We have got Funnick playing the Slark indeed. He'll be well, from the looks of it, he's actually going to rotate bottom. Kuroki will play on the IO. He's got a lot of gold left, 500 gold. He's going to try to get a fast bottle, I believe. And with that help his team out. Lacoste will play the Tiny, as he's now got himself a shield as well. Will be moving most likely to the top lane, as we actually, never mind, top lane is going to be Dendi. OD is going to be played top by Dendi, and that means that Lacoste looks to be on the mid lane. We do have a bit of an engagement though. They want to try and take down Seedoy. The tether is there, slowing Seedoy down already. And the block, brilliant block coming up from Puppy, but they don't have the damage, or maybe they do now with the slow coming out. There is a Lich coming in though, and he has to be careful, but he's already picked up his sacrifice, so he won't be able to nuke. But nice harassment coming out on Seedoy, meaning that he basically already lost 2 tangos, well, just by that harassment. Looks like KuroKy and Puppey are gonna be on the hunt constantly, but Lacoste up against Razor, not gonna be easy. But that's everybody. I introduced Puppey also, right? Puppey playing Visage. So that's everybody on the side of Na'Vi. I'll let RoX.KIS be introduced by you before things get too hairy on this game.
Yeah, over on the side of RoX.KIS, on the safe lane, we have Yol. He's going to be one of the supports for the team. BZZ is perfect, playing on what I would say is his signature carry hero at the moment. That is going to be the StarLadder for him. Scandal, he's going to go up onto the mid lane, picking up the Razor for his team. Goblak, the captain of the team, or at least the drafter, he's going to be on the Lich, on the off lane. And with him is going to be Seedoy, picking up the Elder Titan.
Yeah, Phonic is gonna get crushed actually. He still has a leap. He'll be forced to use it soon, but he can't do it now because Yol's standing right in front of him. This could be a kill. No, now Yol moves away, or at least stops his block. That is the scariest part. If you want to use your leap as an escape, if Yol blocks your path, you're gonna leap onto him and you're not gonna get very far. So that's gonna be Phonic, well, losing himself. He only's got 2 tangos left. We'll see how much he'll actually be able to get last hit-wise, but I think most of all, he should be happy to get experience to begin with. Because that is going to be the main thing. And actually, he's going for BZZ here. The Dark Pact comes off. He won't be able to harass BZZ that much with it. He is having a creep wave pushing very hard right now with 3 range creeps. Well, it's an interesting lane to be looking at. I would be very tempted to just sit around seeing what Phonic does, but I have to look at other lanes too, unfortunately. No, that's not true. This Scandal lane is pretty interesting. He does pick up a double damage rune. It's 8 for 4 on this Razor, with Lacoste sitting on 5 to 4. So far, Razor slightly ahead in terms of last hits, but Lacoste, considering he is in a way outmatched, because Razor should be able to win from a tiny solo. Yes, he's getting help from an IO still, but he is still getting last hits, and that's good for him.
Yeah, I'm really not confident in this as a dual lane mid, to be honest, from the Tiny Wisp. Normally I would be, but going up against a Razor, it's really, really hard for them to actually go on him. He's got just enough of a HP pool to survive their combination at the moment, and he can put on a static link if they try to go on him at the start, and he can basically turn around the fight. And just a moment, because I'm going to check, because Dota TV stuff is really messing up now for me.
Okay.
I'm not getting any sound at all in-game.
Oh, okay, that's not good. That is not good. We'll wait and I'll talk until you're back, and we have a pause anyway, so you're not missing all too much.
Am I able to leave and rejoin in this?
Unless you don't click leave game. You have to really like exit your Dota by Alt F4ing and then rejoin
Alright,
Dota.
I'm gonna have to do that. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
Because otherwise people can't hear me in Dota TV apparently.
Okay, that's good. Or at least it's needed. So, so far, oh, Avalanche toss. Maybe toss back into the tower. Does he have a toss? He does. He's going for KuroKy, actually. Scandal with 112 extra attack damage. If he was tossed, KuroKy would be dead. So Lacoste, good choice to not tossing his teammate, or tossing to his teammate right there. Yol is undefeated as Dazzle. That is quite impressive right there, to be honest. I mean, Dazzle overall, a very unorthodox pick. We have seen him a bit lately in 6.79, but overall still not a pick that you see very frequently. Not often is there actually a ban even. Wow, I missed that one. Still, they get the kill on the Razor. Well, that's my first blood missed in quite some time. And of course it had to happen in a Na'Vi game because Na'Vi crazy. But still, the kill go on the way of Lacoste. That is actually something that should not have happened. This was probably Scandal just playing a bit overconfident. He was draining attack damage. I can blame that on you. Yeah, on the Dazzle distraction. Thank you. There we go. Blamed. Yol picks up the haste rune. He will actually be able to find Phonic. He does have a Shadow Poison level 2. They might be able to get him. If they get the Crush up, he's forced to leap right now, or Dark Pact. Either would work. I guess Dark Pact is the one. He really is just saving his leap. I mean, of course it's cheaper for mana to go for your Dark Pact, so that's a good way there, but he is really, Oh, actually, they're gonna dive this. Now he's leaping, but he was forced to leap right into Yol, and he'll heal up. That's gonna be a kill for BZZ.
Hello again.
Hello again, and of course...
Hopefully I'm neither echoing or not turning up.
Well, for all people now in Dota TV, if you want to hear G Advanced, you'll have to switch to a different broadcaster and then switch back. Because as is a bit of a thing with Dota TV, if you... Oh, that was close. If you, well, if someone disconnects one of the casters, you'll have to, well, basically renew the channel, which you do by leaving the channel and then coming back. So do that. And you tell us if you can hear G Advance if you're back. Hello.
Yeah, like you said, Dazzle, really unorthodox pickup. Yol apparently has done really well with it. The issue with Dazzle generally, and I think it's an issue that's been slightly solved with 679, because supports get more AXP now, and in general, this hero really wants a ton of XP. You want to be able to get at least 3 points in your Poison Touch generally. Shallow Grave is good at level 1, but ideally you want to have a couple of points in it because otherwise the range on it is really low, and it means sometimes you need to be in position that you can't be in during a team fight. You kind of want Shadow Wave maxed, and you also want points in Weave. It's really hard to get XP on this hero as well because he's not a particularly fast farmer, but 6.79, we see supports generally having a slightly easier time of things, so yeah, Dazzle a bit more effective maybe in this patch.
Yeah, it's more fighting overall. They go for Scandal again, but the Avalanche misses. Scandal will be able to make it out. He also is going to get some backup of Yol, who is rotating in. While at the same time, Funnick is actually hanging around mid as well. Static Link goes up on Kuroki, is going to run away from this one, actually gets slowed. Tether is still there, but that was pretty scary indeed. Kuroki, they're actually coming back in. The Avalanche hit upon Yol, the toss as well. It will be Lacoste to die though, and Dazzle still alive. That's a double kill for Scandal. He's looking for a triple. It will be costing Yol his life. Funnick, he does have enough mana for Shadow Dance, he'll use it, and he'll try to go for Scandal right here. The Dark Pact coming up as well, doesn't all hit up on Scandal, and Scandal will try to turn around. In comes Goblak, and he'll take the kill. It is 3 for 1 here in this middle lane. One support Dazzle for the dual lane mid and the off laner taken down on the side of RoX.KIS. They're going to be very happy with that trade.
Yeah, this is really difficult for the side of Na'Vi at the moment because their lanes are not doing as well as they would want them to. Their off-lane Slark, as you pointed out, he really needs last hits. He's not getting any. He has 3 right now, or is that since I've joined the game? That might be since I've rejoined the game, but even so, he has very few last hits in this stage of the game. Lacoste also not doing particularly well here. He's got a fair amount of last hits, but he is behind the Razor by a significant amount of levels now. 3 levels behind the Razor. Their lanes are not working out.
Slark, right?
Sorry, yeah.
He indeed has got 3 last hits, that's all he has.
Okay, yeah, so that's as bad as I actually thought it is. And the thing is, they don't have heroes who can rotate very early in the lanes. Tiny, he really needs Toss at least maxed out, maybe points in Avalanche as well as Grow. The Wisp, again, not a very good rotating hero. The only hero who can rotate and try to gank for them at the moment is Puppy on his Visage, and for the moment he's trying to farm up. The other person who's tried to rotate, Funnick, is simply just does no damage right now.
Scandal, he is gonna be able to drain 140 damage, and Lacoste, well, good luck trying to kill him off. Scandal already just got himself a kill on Kuroki, and he was only 1 hit away from taking down the Tiny as well, and the only reason he didn't get that was the uphill miss. I mean, that's not something you can do. You can't just run at a Razor while the Static Link is draining. He's got 4 points in that. There's no way you're going to get out of there alive. And Io just dropped in just 2 or 3 hits. That's pretty damn scary. And this Io, I mean, he's not level 6 yet by far. And even when he is, who are they going to gank? Because if they go in on the StarLadder, there will be a Dazzle to save him. There will be a Crush as well coming out. If they go up on the top lane, perhaps that would be the most successful lane, but Elder Titan is not going to be one that's easy to gank. And, you know, Lich, he might be having his level 6 around that point as well, and if you're going to teleport in, that Lich ultimate is going to bounce around between you and your target. It's just, or you and your tether target, that is, which is what I meant. It's just, I'm not sure if it's going to be enough for the Io to reach level 6 to turn this around for Na'Vi.
Yeah, right now they just don't really have the capability of ganking. And I mean, who can they really go on? They don't want to go, like you said, on Goblak. The bottom lane, Shallow Grave, that's obviously a bad target. And Razor, as we proved exactly as I said at the start, he's one of those heroes who, if he knows you're going on him, he simply static links you up, survives the kill attempt, especially now because he's picked up a Bracer and a 1, so he's relatively tanky in this stage of the game. He can simply turn around the fight, and this is really good lanes for RoX.KIS and really bad ones for the side of Na'Vi. I really think they should have just ran defensive tri-lane. It's good. It was going to suck for Funnick either way, this game.
Yeah, and actually KuroKi is about to die. Scandal picks him up with one plasma field. Puppey forced to run as well. And really rotate by just running for his life is all he can do. Still at level 6 for him, even though he's trying so hard to get that. That was the first rotation for Scandal, who's got boots, who's starting to build towards his, well, Dandy, careful there. He's actually trying to make something happen here, but Cedo is still around here, so he can't really do anything. Na'Vi, kinda locked in position. We do have a rotation coming in from Funnick. He has got a double damage rune. He's also level 7, so in terms of levels, he's getting there, but I mean, he's just not gonna get the farm, and he's not gonna have treads for a while. He might be able to catch a courier. Nah, courier is hasted. Courier will be fine. And nobody in the mid lane up to gank up. It's just all gonna come down to the IO and the Tiny combination, and if Tiny can get his farm going, then it's still gonna be okay. Of course, Tiny's, if they get an Aghanim Scepter, they're able to smash almost anybody, but it's going to be tougher and tougher the longer that this game goes on the way it is, and especially now with StarLadder picking up Vanguard.
Yeah, this is pretty much the standard StarLadder build. Some people skip the Vanguard for a straight Blink Dagger if they feel they really don't need it, but with things like Slark on the field, you want as much HP as you can. He can drain some of that HP off you, or at least your stats off you, and he's going to be a really, really dangerous force in the mid-game of this. I said before, BZZ has played this hero a lot more recently. He's played this pretty much every time I've casted the team. And it's a really, really strong hero for the lineup of RoX.KIS, because generally they run very safe, stable lanes for a few minutes, and then they just go mental in the mid-game. They're very, very aggressive team once they get into the early mid-game. Yep,
and they just have some items that they need, some levels that they need. And even before they have that, they'll try to be slightly aggressive, as Funnick has got a Dark Pact. Also, ooh, the crush just slightly too early for BCZ, and all of a sudden in comes the slow. With the slow comes the extra damage that he might take, but he gets extra armor. In comes the Dark Pact, still Funnick, another Poison Touch, and this crash will hit. Soul Assumption is not going to be enough, and the kill goes the way of the Dazzle, with Slark going down. Familiar Disable still coming out. Puppey takes the return kill. StarLadder will get picked off. Good kill going the way of the Na'Vi squad, but at the same time their Tiny dies on the bottom lane as well. That means their 2 solo lanes picked off. Well, I say solo lanes even though Lacoste wasn't really solo, but can't really afford to lose to Tiny at this point. He needs more before he can start rotating around with that IO, who is level 6 by the way.
Yeah, and the issue for Na'Vi is right now is nobody on their team is looking like they're actually going to carry this. Dendi, he has a natural counter against him in this game, which is obviously one of the reasons they put him up on the top lane here, but he's not even thrived up here. He's actually only up to 48 last hits, and now he's going to get killed.
Yeah. It doesn't even seem like Scandal has to really do effort for that. I mean, he had a haste rune, just came up behind. There's no wards up for Na'Vi to scout out which rune he picked up. So, Denny too far out. This looks to be a kill on the tower. I mean, even BZZ rotated for this one. I mean, he wasn't even needed. We do have Slark hanging around here, but Funnick, what can he do at this point? Nothing whatsoever. He knows it too, so he'll be rotating hopefully towards the mid lane, maybe trying to make something happen there. I mean, it's about time where Io and Tiny are gonna try something, but again, we mentioned this. Where are they gonna gank? Who are they gonna gank? Who can they kill?
Yeah, I really don't think there's a good target for them at the moment. I mean, outside of the Lich, and when there's one person that you can think about killing with a Wisp Tiny combination, which is supposed to be one of the most aggressive mid-game combinations, one of those that just teleports all over the map, and I mean, Tiny is one of the highest burst damage heroes in the game. BZZ gonna go gank here again in the mid lane.
Yeah, just running at Lacoste looks to be enough. The relocate's gonna be coming in too late. Avalanche still hit though. Funnick actually pounces up on Yol. Perhaps he can get a kill, but the Shallow Grave keeps Yol up, and now Funnick in the Shadow Dance has to run for his life. We'll be able to get there to the tower, that is. The stomp doesn't hit. In comes KuroKi again, but he'll just scare people away with the spirit. In the meantime, Visage gets picked up by Scandal because he's wicked sick. He's 7-1-1, and this just shows. I mean, I don't think it is the fault of Lacoste by any stretch, but it just shows how comfortable Na'Vi is normally in their own roles, and what happens if you put them in slightly different roles and don't have the same lineup as they normally do. I think that is part of the reason why we see Na'Vi struggling so much here.
Yeah, Na'Vi are a team that, I mean, they can play a lot of different styles, but they always play in the very, very strict roles. KuroKi, generally always a farmer who, always a support who farms a lot, Dendi almost always on that middle lane, generally on pretty aggressive ganker. It's why when you see him pick up like heroes like DK Beastmaster, he doesn't do well.
He just comes in from behind. He goes for a Lacoste, but in the meantime, the Shallow Grave might keep him up long enough. Astral Imprisonment will keep the Slark alive for the moment. It will still be the Tiny that dies. Puppey in some trouble as well. Has to run away from that Eye of the Storm, and he's not going to be able to triple kill for Scandal. Looking for an ultra kill, and he gets it too. It is a 1 for 5. The only one they killed was the one that ran in head first up against everybody of Na'Vi, and he lived still for so long because of that Shallow Grave. Scandal, he is completely out of his mind right now. He is more than double the amount of net worth as the highest on Na'Vi. And I mean, they have only taken down 2 towers so far.
Yeah, this is the style that RoX.KIS has been playing with since they picked up Scandal. I think Scandal really, really fits their team, not just because he's a fantastic player, but also because he's a very, very greedy solo mid. And BZZ, I mean, he's picking up a StarLadder. This is not a hard carry by any chance. You said he was one of the first heroes on the side of RoX.KIS to actually rotate, because he's picked up a hero here who's more about initiating and having utility and increasing other people's damage than increasing his own damage, to be honest. And it works really, really well with the Razor. Minus armor plus static link means an absolute ton of damage.
Yeah, and then you add to that the Natural Order from the Elder Titan, you add the Weave from the Dazzle, who's by the way level 9. And if we take a look at the levels, level 9 is the lowest level on the side of RoX.KIS, but it's also the highest level on the side of Na'Vi, which isn't even Lacoste on his Tiny or
Puppey.
Slark Puppey.
Puppey's being Scandal.
Now he's going for Dendi. Force Stab doesn't actually get him away from the Weave. He tries to teleport out, should be able to make it out alive. Yul comes in, actually he stops teleporting and he might actually die, but they go in on Scandal, but Scandal with so much extra damage, everybody just melts, the toss comes out, the Wave, the Crave, oh my god, it is a massacre once again, triple kill, and he was the one that got initiated on. Why did they go in on a Razor that had 224 extra attack damage? What was wrong with this game?
Na'Vi just really, really don't want to give up any map control this game because they need a lot more farm than they have right now. They don't really have a good way of ganking, and that's it, they call it. They've lost map control, they've lost capability to actually stop RoX.KIS doing anything they want. So they're just called GG. I mean...
Yeah. An 18-minute GG and a 17-minute GG coming out here today for Na'Vi, both against them, or as in both that they were the ones to call the GG. It is looking kind of grim for Na'Vi. They've now got themselves, I believe, let's take a quick look again. I forgot already. What the hell? They've now got 3 losses to their name, and... oh, that's the wrong screen. But 3 losses to their name kind of means that they can't afford to lose anymore. Luckily for them, they've already faced Alliance that they were already lost against, but they still have to face Fnatic. And that's not going to be easy either. They still got quite a few teams that they might be having a weak game against. We'll see though, because this just didn't look like the Na'Vi that we were used to. On the upside, I mean, RoX.KIS played fabulously, to be honest. They play really nice.
Yeah, RoX.KIS have looked really, really in their element recently, especially when they've been picking up heroes like StarLadder, heroes like Dazzle, which are really unorthodox, but really work well with their style, which is centered a lot now around the mid-solo pickup of Scandal. I think that's going to be the way you can break the side of RoX.KIS. If you can put a lane up against him that will just crush Scandal just by... you know, what sort of matchup it is, then things can go really, really bad for RoX.KIS, I feel.
Would you say outplayed, outlaned, or outdrafted? Because
I really think they were. I think they were outdrafted and outlaned. To be honest, I feel like RoX.KIS just had straight up better lanes than Na'Vi could really deal with. An Elder Titan going up versus the OD with support of a Lich for the side of the Elder Titan makes things really, really easy for the Elder Titan. It limits the XP that the OD is going to get as well. And in the mid lane, they simply couldn't win the lane in which they put a tiny Wisp in, which is generally a lane that you really need to do well with early, so that you can then start your mid game going where you have a ton of base damage and you can teleport around the map.
Yeah, well, we are going to see another game. This one is not going to feature RoX nor Na'Vi. We're going to jump ourselves to 2 fresh teams. It will be Alliance versus Power Rangers. Now, the history of these 2 teams. Power Rangers was actually the first team to beat Alliance after they came back from TI3. We're going to see if they haven't lost their touch against Alliance. And we'll see Power Rangers actually twice in a row, because first they'll face Alliance and afterwards they're gonna face Mouse Sports, who's also looking very strong in the last couple of days. So stick with us. The next game, I mean, this was of course a very fast game, so the official starting time of the next game is only in about 32 minutes from now. It's at 8 CET time, so 2000 2000s. I don't really know how to say 8 p.m. CET time in 0-100 thingies, sound or times. How do you say that? Is it 2000? Because it sounds so stupid.
No, it's 1900.
No, it's 2000. For you it's 1900, but it's CET.
It's 1900 for me.
Yes, yeah, but how do you say 2000? Is it actually 2000? Because it sounds weird.
I don't know. I actually don't.
Because 2100 is there. That. And 2200 makes sense, but 2000, it just sounds awkward. 2K. Well, anyways.
It might be like 20. I think it's 2000. It's 2000, yeah.
2000. Yeah, that sounds good. 2000. We're gonna have ourselves our next game. So there will be Alliance versus Power Rangers. So stick around for more Dota. Of course, once again, you're watching StarLadder. It is actually day 16 of 30 days. That means we're now past halfway there to in the group stages. 30 days of group stages in total, with the group stages actually ending on January the 5th. And that also means that we have got ourselves, of course, LAN finals on the 17th of January. So let's see who is going to be getting an extra win to gain points to make sure that they can make it to the playoffs. Is it going to be Alliance? Is it going to be Power Rangers? We'll find out in about half an hour.